Good morning. Good afternoon, I guess. We are so glad that you guys came to join us for our car seat presentation for our report to the community. I want to share a couple of instructions for you on how various controls work. To raise your hand, you're going to open the participant box and click on raise hand. Click raise hand in the webinar controls. It's at the bottom of your screen, and the host will be notified that you've raised your hand. Click lower hand to lower it after you have spoken. To send a chat from the computer, oops, my screen went away, hold on a second. To send a chat from a computer, click chat in the meeting controls. Again, those are the controls that are found at the bottom of your screen. This will open up the chat window, and you can type a message into the chat box and click send or done, and it will send the message into the chat box. To send a chat from a cell phone, click the screen so that all the controls are visible. Click participants at the bottom of the cell phone screen. Click the chat icon, which again looks like a little chat bubble. Write your message and then click send. If you would like to ask a question, click on the Q&A icon at the bottom of your screen in the webinar menu. Type your question in the Q&A box and then click send. We're giving you this information because if you ask a question during this webinar or afterward at our Q&A time, you will get to enter your name into a raffle. Yay for raffles. So we encourage all of you, if you have any car seat questions, to please be sure to ask those questions. This is all a part of the report to the community. We have events going on every day. And tomorrow, I just want to give you a heads up that we're doing the Briggs Garden portion of our report to the community tomorrow. And there are still a few spaces available from 10 to 12. I believe that there's going to be a quick tour of the garden, and you're going to get some free, fresh, homegrown vegetables. So without further ado, I believe that I'm passing it to, excuse me, Patience.
To Cindy.
No, to Cindy.
Yes, that's okay.
Hey all, so just to make it a little bit more fun and interesting for our car seat presentation today, Alfonso created a series of questions for families to answer, and you can find the links to the survey in our chat box in English and in Spanish. So if you can complete those before the, I'm going to leave it open till about 12:30 for you guys to answer those questions, and you'll be entered to win a car seat and instruction from Alfonso. So good luck with your survey. All right, Ms. Patience.
All right, thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Carmen. And again, I want to welcome everybody to our annual report to the community, the Welcome Baby part. As you can see, that's the Welcome Baby Dream Team. And everybody's on here, is on Zoom. You know, I can start, I just want to introduce everybody. So this is the team. Patience, I'm Patience, the program coordinator. Then we have Evelyn Ramirez, who's a Spanish parent educator. And we have Carmen Reeves, bilingual parent educator, also is our other car seat tech. And we have Miss Cindy Riley, our English parent educator, and the Cribs for Kids coordinator, and also a car seat tech. And we have Karen Rodriguez, bilingual parent educator, Carneta Green, our Giving Closet coordinator, Yesenia Ponce, our office manager, Ms. Erin Matoko, our volunteer coordinator, and Alfonso Blanco, who's our car seat safety educator, and who's gonna do his presentation, and you guys gonna love it. Ms. Erin, next one. All right, so for you guys that are not familiar with Welcome Baby, which I think everybody is familiar with Welcome Baby who's on here, but just to refresh your memory on the services, we do offer parenting workshops, and all these are from families with children 0 to 5, Mother with Baby, which is birth and beginning years for pregnant moms and up to 4 months old with babies, Healthy Babies, which is our new addition. And Miss Cindy is running that. She has a class going on right now. So this is one of our new classes, and we are so excited about it. This is for pregnant moms children up to 6 months. Then we have a Mother Read, Father Read, which is literacy-based curriculum, and ages is 1 to 5, but you can always start reading early, because we want you to start reading to the kids, even in neutral. When you're pregnant, start reading because they can hear your voice. Then we have the Incredible Years Basic, which is for the children 3 to 5 years old. Then our Triple P, Positive Parenting Program, which is 0 to 5. Miss Erin, next one. Oh, should I slow down? All right. Services, okay. So, and then we have direct services, which is the Giving Closet, where families can come and get clothes and diapers. And then we also have a car seat safety, which you'll see Alfonso is going to talk more about it, and the Cribs for Kids. These two services are the only ones that you have to pay a copay, which is $15, and you get a brand new car seat and or a brand new crib. Those are the only ones that cost. Everything else is available, free to the families. Next one. All right, so our impact report, 2020 was exciting. 2020 was anxiety inducing, everything, but we kind of adjusted to continue to be able to serve the families. And through that, we were able to distribute over 250,000 diapers in collaboration with Diaper Bank of North Carolina. We also distributed over 198,000 wipes, baby wipes, and 99,448 feminine products, and personal care Burt's Bees products, about 3,584. And with this, we were basically able to diaper, I would say that, a total of 20,929 Durham babies. And this is so wonderful. Erin, next one. All right, and again, we continue with the impact report. For the Giving Closet, we were able to serve 4,500 families. This is where you come and get clothing for your child and any other baby equipment that we have. And this is really thanks to Durham County families, to Durham City families, to basically Durhamites. We wouldn't be able to do this without their donations. And then car seats, we served 126 families. Distributed 139 car seats, and cribs, 81 families, and distributed 109 cribs. Miss Erin, and we have our annual coat drive that we've been doing this since 2012, right, Cindy, Carmen? Since 2012, yes. And through that drive, we were able to collect and distribute 371 children's coats, and these in collaboration with Durham County Libraries, the different branches, the Northern Branch, Southwest Branch, South Branch, Bragtown, main branch. And Bragtown actually joined us to be the first, to be a distribution center this year, and that was really wonderful. And then also Porch Durham, White Rock Baptist Church, and just the Durham community, and we want to thank everybody for that. Next one. All right, pandemic kind of brought challenges, and we collaborated and partnered with Porch Durham, and Porch Durham was able to come up with funds for us to be able to distribute Christmas grocery gift cards, $800 worth of grocery cards that we distributed to the families. And some of the pictures you can see that some of the families that are receiving the gift cards. All right. And when pandemic started, we had to go, before we could be able to do anything, we did Facebook Live workshops. And with that, we averaged over 1,000 views per month during those months between April to June. And thank you, Carmen, for keeping track of the stats. Next one. All right, so I just want to, this wouldn't be possible without the collaboration of all the different partners. And we, just to list them: Porch Durham, Durham County Libraries, White Rock Baptist Church, Museum of Life and Science, Durham Head Start, UNC Apple's program. These are the college students who come and volunteer and help us with different tasks. Junior League of Durham, they're the parent of Welcome Baby. Inner River Ruritan Club, First Presbyterian, Safe Kids Durham, NCCU Durham Technical Community College. Next one. All right, so, and I want to say thank you for everybody who's here. And if you have any questions or you'd like to contact us, you have the main number right here. We also have our website, and then we can also follow us on Facebook, Welcome Baby, or you can send an email to welcomebabydurham@gmail.com. And I want to thank everybody for joining us. I will pass it on to Alfonso so you guys can see the show that you came to see.
Okay, thank you, Patient.
You're welcome.
Thank you all for coming. So yeah, there's a lot of expectation. I hope that we can match that. I'm going to share the presentation. This one. Okay. See if I can put it. Okay, here it is. So, yeah. So today I'm going to talk a little about the different types of car seat that we have in the market. And I'm going to show you just, a brief presentation about the different types of car seat that we have in the market, and also the different ages that the kids can be in the different types of car seats. Here, as Patient and all the co-workers said, we have these classes at the Welcome Baby, and in the classes we are like giving a lot wider information about what, how to properly install the babies in the car seat, how to install the car seat in the car, and we actually help you installing the car seat in your car. So if you have questions after this, we will have like a questions and answer, and also you can call us and sign up for the classes that are free. And as Patient said, like car seats are $15, but the classes that we are providing are really free. And I'm going to start with this. And we have in the market, we have 4 different types of ways to put the babies or the kids in the car. And we have 3 different types of car seat. Okay, I'm going to go through them. The first one is the rear facing. That is the first one that we have, the first picture. That means rear facing means that the baby or the kid is looking to the back of the car. Okay. The second type that we have is the forward facing. It's exactly the same type of car seat with a harness, but now the kid is looking to the front of the car, to the same way as we are looking in the car. The third type that we have is the booster. That is just a mechanism to hide or to elevate the kid in the car, in the car seat, so the seat belt fits better in the kid. Okay. And the last way to carry the baby or to bring the baby in the car is just with the seat belt. Okay. So every car seat is going to be used in the kids based on their age, on their weight, and on their height, different types. Here I'm going to talk about the age. That is the easier way to put the kid in the different type of car seat. Okay. So in the rear facing, they need to be rear facing until they are 2 years old, at least. You see in the bottom that they can go longer. They can go up to 3 years old, 4. I was reading the other day that in Europe, they recommend to have kids until they are 4 years old, rear facing. We will see later why. So that's, more or less the age that we have to keep our kids in the rear facing position. Forward facing starts at 2 years old, and they can go usually until they are 5, 6 years old. They can be a little longer, and the minimum is 4. We don't want to have kids less than 4 years old in the next position, that is the booster. Okay. Booster, I usually recommend to start the booster when they're like 5, 6 years old, and they can go as long as 12, because it's going to depend, the booster is going to depend on how tall the kid is, basically. And then the last stage, that is the seatbelt, they start at 8 years old. Okay. No kids under 8, unless that they are like, they have more weight than usual, they can be in just with the seatbelt. Okay. This is pretty simple. I'm going to simplify, this more complex, always that when we talk about ages and the different circumstances that we can have for every family, but this is the basic scheme that we are going to move around. Okay, so the first type of car seat that we have in the market is the rear facing, that is looking to the back of the car. And there are like two types of rear-facing car seat that we can find in the market. We can find the infant car seat, that is the one that, if you had a kid in the past or you have a kid now, you know what type of car seat we are talking about. Okay, it's the one that comes with a base and a canopy. So you put the base in the car, it stays all the time in the car, and you have the canopy that you remove and you put in the stroller or you move to a different place. This type of car seat, usually they cannot hold babies that are weighing more than 30 pounds, okay? The other type of car seat that we have is the convertible. This is a car seat that can be forward facing or can be rear facing, okay? Can be both. They have an advantage that is this type of car seat can hold babies in the rear facing position a little longer until they're like 40 pounds, okay? And that's a good thing because some babies, some kids, when they're like 2 years old, they are weighing more than 30 pounds. So that means that if they're weighing more than 30 pounds, they cannot be in an infant car seat, but they need to be until they are 2 in the rear facing position. So a convertible is a really good car in this situation. Okay, so now why rear facing? As I told, they need to be until they are 2 years old rear facing, but we would like to see them much longer in the rear facing position. Why? So here's the picture, but I'm going to try to share the video of this. So we are going to see a little video about why we want to use the rear facing position. Okay. I hope that the sound works. Well, it doesn't have sound, so just the video. Can you see the video?
I
Yeah.
see writing.
Yeah, so yeah, it's going to tell a little about what is the things is, you can read this. And here is the video now, okay? And you can see in the video how if you have an accident, okay, how is the difference between the rear facing and the forward facing position for a little kid, okay? What they say in the test before is like the kids, they don't have developed enough strength in the muscles in the neck or in the spine. So in case that you have an accident, you can see in the rear facing position how the back of the kid, the head of the kid is against the car seat. So all the pressure is, distributed in the car seat, so they don't suffer any type of injury. In the forward facing, you see how the head of the kid is moving forward, so the spine is stretching, and usually this is an injury that they cannot survive, okay? That's why we want to keep them in the rear facing position as much as we can. Okay. Good. I'm going back to the presentation here. Okay. So yeah, so the next type of car seat is the forward facing. The forward facing is exactly the same as the rear facing. It still goes with the harness, but now we are like moving this car seat and the baby is looking to the front, okay? As I repeat again, is more than 2 years old, and we have usually all the models. We have the convertible model, that is the one that can be like forward facing, rear facing, and we have the forward facing, okay? They can be also forward facing a booster. They are like different combinations, so you can buy a car seat that are like 2-in-1, 3-in-1, 4-in-1. There are a lot of different models in the market, but the forward facing usually is from 20 pounds up to 40, 65 pounds, okay? Usually it's like trying to hold the baby until they're like 5-6 years old. That is the time that they can buckle and unbuckle themselves, so you don't need to use the harness to keep them in place. So that's the next step. The next step is when they are able to buckle and unbuckle themselves, we put them in the booster. And there are like two types of booster. We have the booster without the bag and with the bag. With the bag, usually the whole baby is like a little younger, in the 4 or 5 years old, when they're like weighing up around 40 pounds, 50 pounds. And we use the bag because the bag is going to route the seatbelt to fit the seatbelt in the shoulder of the kid, okay? Booster without the bag, just with the base, is usually recommended for bigger kids. I'm talking kids in the 8, 9, 10 years old. okay? And they can hold babies up to 100 pounds usually. And here's a little, you know, there we have some 4 pictures, and I want you to think about which one you think that is correct, okay? I'm going to give you like 3 seconds to think, to see all the different pictures. I don't know if you can see the number 4, but yeah, which one do you think that is correct? And now that you think about that, we don't have a way to interact with you, so I'm going to tell you which one. Number 1, you see that the seatbelt is in the neck of the kid, so this is not correct, okay? If you have an accident and the kid is in that position, they will have an injury in the neck, okay? This kid is like, needs actually a booster to be in a higher position. Second kid is the same. Looks like he has a booster, but still the seatbelt is in the neck, okay? So if they have an accident, it will have an injury in the neck. But the thing is, like, usually kids, when they have the seatbelt in the neck, they move the seatbelt to the back of the, you know, to his back or her back, or under their arm, or things like they are really not how it's supposed to work. Okay. Number 3 and 4 are correct. Okay. Number 4 is appropriate. They have the seatbelt in the right position. Number 3 is a little kid, but she has a booster that increased the height. So now the seatbelt is in the right position. Okay, so she's using the right feet. Okay, and just to finish, the last thing is about harnessing. Okay, and this is really important because it's one of the things that whenever a family comes here to the Welcome Baby, we find out that they are not doing properly, and it's how to put the harness in the kids. The harness needs to be tied to the kid. Okay, if you have the harness loose, is not going to work. It's going to create an injury in case that you have an accident. And the second thing, you know, the first thing is like they need to be tight, and the second thing is the clip. That is this thing that the arrow is pointing at. The clip needs to be in the armpit level. Usually we saw the clips right in the belly part, and the harness is loose. In case that you have an accident, the kid can flew away out of the car seat, or they can just put the hands in between and then open and then going out of the harness. So please remember to tie pretty well the harness and to put the clip in the chest in that level. Okay. That's all. I like to finish with a quote that is in Spanish that I like so much, that is say, es mejor perder un minuto en la vida que la vida en un minuto. I try to translate that to, it's better to lose 1 minute in life than to lose life in a minute. It's telling me that, you know, it's good to, you know, when you are putting your kid in the car seat, or you're like buckling your kids, please take 1 minute before like you starting the engine, and be sure that all your kids are properly restrained in the car. And you know, it's kind of like a thing that you can do every day, a routine that you can use every day. So thank you so much for attending, and I think that we are going to be open now for questions. So I'm happy to answer any question that you might have.
Okay, we do have a couple of questions. Let me pull them up. So my computer's not wanting to work with me today. All right. The first question was, a friend told me that the mirror that I'm using on the back of my seat to be able to see my baby is not safe. I've never heard this before. Is this true or is it not true?
Mm-hmm. That's a really good question. That's one of the things that we find always in the car seat. And the recommendation is like, you need to think every time that you are in a car that you can be in an accident. And what will happen if you have an accident? And what will happen is like everything in the car is going to move. And if things move, where are they going to fall? So with this premise, we are going to talk about the mirror. If you have a mirror that is in top of your kid and you have an accident, they can break, they can happen something to that, and they can fall in your baby's face. So the baby's in the car seat, it's pretty, you know, like properly restrained, everything is correct. You have an accident and this mirror that you have broke, or with the tension fall in your baby's face, okay? So they can cause an injury. So our recommendation is not to have anything around, not like curtains in the sides or things that you can hang in the car. But if you are going to put something because you want to see your kid in the back, be sure that this is properly attached. That in case that you have an accident, it's not going to fall. So that means nothing with a Velcro, nothing like with a weight that is going to the back. If it's with this head restraint that you can buckle around, it will be okay. Okay, but if it's not the situation that your head restraint or the headset, they don't have like a thing that you can hook around, you cannot put anything over there. And I don't know if Carmen, that is also a car seat technician, or Cindy wants to add anything, and I'm happy to hear about it.
I think that it's most important to also realize that every time that you take your eyes off the road to look into that mirror, you're putting yourself at risk for distracted driving. So another tip that Alfonso will give sometimes is to, if your child, if you don't, if you decide to take that mirror off and your child starts crying and fussing and you're concerned, you can always pull over in a safe spot, a parking lot or something, and check on your child. Anytime your eyes are not on the road, then that's a dangerous situation.
Mhm.
We have another question from Meg. She says, my son is large enough for a booster, but does not turn 4 till October. Should I wait till his birthday to change him to a booster seat?
That's a really good question. It's like when we are like talking about if a booster is appropriate or if a forward facing is appropriate, we have to take in consideration a few things. You have to take the age, you have to take the weight, and you have to take how tall the kid is, okay? Based on the age, we recommend the kids under 4, usually my experience, kids are different and you have exception everywhere. But when you put them with the booster and they are less than 5, I will say, they are likely to be unbuckling themselves. Okay, it's hard to negotiate or to talk with a 4-year-old and tell them like, hey, don't unbuckle yourself. So when you put the harness, you know that every time in the car, they are safe. But imagine that you put a 4-year-old with the seatbelt, with the booster, and then you're driving and suddenly you don't know, and they unbuckle themselves, you're driving and you have an accident. You will see your baby like flying away, okay? So the harness is the best option in that situation. If they are tall, it's fine, but doesn't mean that they cannot be in the forward-facing car seat, okay? And you also have to take in consideration the weight, okay? How much do they weigh? Because the limit for the forward-facing usually is the weight. If you have a kid that is weighing more than 65 pounds, then probably, yeah, you have to use a different type of car seat. In any other circumstance, if they're like 4-year-old, they're less than 65 pounds, I will keep them in the forward-facing if I can.
So we have a question in the chat. Raquel says that she has her baby 6 months old and his seat or her seat is looking rear facing, and that's how they put it in the hospital. And I'm going to read you auras because I'm not sure I quite understand it, but I'm going to read it in Spanish. Es necesario quitar y volver a poner la silla cada cierto tiempo.
Oh, that's a good question. She's trying to say, or the question is like, if I need to move or to remove the car seat from the car from so on, okay? Like it's different times. That's a really good question. You don't have to, it's not needed, but the problem like your kid is going to grow up. And as your kid is growing up, the harness needs to be, the harness needs to be in the shoulder level. So all the car seats, they have different gaps, different holes for the harness. So as they are growing up, you need to keep increasing that in the car seat. Every time that you need to move the harness to the next available spot at the next available hole, you need to remove the car seat. So you don't need to, you don't have to, but the practice is like you need to do that to adjust the car seat to your baby. And usually it's like, you have the car seat when they're like born, and when they're like 3 months old, it's too big for the position, for the newborn position. So you will need to move that. When they're like 6, 8 months old, it's another grow up area. So you need to move that. So yeah, unfortunately, you will need to move the car seat a lot in the first year. Yeah. And also, yeah, I just want to say that here at the Welcome Baby, Cindy, Carmen, and myself, if you come on Friday for the giving closet or anytime and we are around, we are happy to help you with that. It's kind of like help you like moving the car seat to a different place like reinstalling the car seat is pretty easy, and we're happy to do that, to help you with that.
The next question was, I need to go back. It says, how can I tell what the weight limit is on my baby's car seat?
That's a great question too. So I don't know, I have here all the car seats they have here. I hope that you can see half in the side. Okay, you can see half a sticker in the side. So this is the best. Sorry that I have this. It's good that I have this one. In the sticker of the side is the best way. You have the manual, the instruction manual, but in the sticker they say what is the weight limit, what is the height limit. Usually it's here is in English, always. Some car seats they have also in Spanish. I don't know if the question was in Spanish or English, but it's pretty visual. You can see numbers, and you can see rear facing with the picture rear facing or picture forward facing, and you can read below like, hey, this goes 20 to 35 or anything. So the sticker is a really, really good way to find out what is the appropriate age or weight for the baby. Related to that, if your car seat does not have a sticker, you have a problem. We recommend the car seats to, that you have all the information in the car seat. If you don't have the sticker, you don't know how this car seat can fit in your kid, okay? Also, I don't know if anyone is going to ask about that, but I'm going to answer. In the car seat, you need to have a sticker that say when it was made, what is the manufacture date, and when it's going to expire, okay? All the car seat have an expiration date. So you need to check these two things always in your car seat. It's like the weight of your kid is between the range of the car seat, and also that the car seat is not expired.
So Alfonso, we have Ms. Sylvia would like to ask you a question.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Ms. Sylvia. I'm going to unmute. Maybe I can.
Finally, can you hear me now?
Yes,
I
we
can
can
hear
hear
you
you
now.
now.
Hello, everybody. This is Sylvia and Fred Rebenson. And our question is, how do you secure the baby seat in the car seat so it will not move around in the car? I know you buckle the seat up,
Mhm.
but it seems like we don't have the baby seat, what you would want to say,
Secure.
secured in the car seat.
It rocks back and forth.
Mhm. Yeah, thank you for the question. So the data shows that 80% of the car seat are not properly installed. Okay, our experience here at the Welcome Baby is 100%. I've never seen a car seat that is properly installed. Today I only had 20 minutes to cover, so I decided to cover how to put the baby in the car seat. But installing the car seat is a thing that will take me probably like 1 hour to show you. It's really, really complicated. Okay, you need to read the manual and everything. So unfortunately, I cannot give you like a fast solution like, hey, you do this and then it's going to be fine. What I recommend is like sign up for our classes. You come here, you take the class, it's 45 minutes class probably, and we will show you how to install the car seat. And also, I like with the families who are coming here to practice about that you feel comfortable installing the car seat, okay? You can see videos in YouTube if you want. I recommend much more to come here because you will have like a really good experience about how to install the car seat. And I cannot tell you anything else because I don't know how is your car. I don't know how is the car seat. I don't know anything. So without seeing anything, I cannot recommend you to anything. I just want to tell you that your car seat needs to be tight. They don't need to, they have to move less than 1 inch from side to side. If it's moving more than that, it is not properly installed. And if you have an accident, you will have like injuries in your baby. So please come here. If you cannot come here for whatever reason, go to a fire department station and they will install for you. The difference with that between us and the fire department station is like, we are trying to teach you how to do that. Okay, in the fire department, they usually install for you. So you have to come back every day over there. Here, we try to give you some information so you can install that by your own.
So you have a glowing review in the chat, Alfonso. It said, yes, Alfonso helped me to ensure that my infant's car seat was as secure and stable as it could be. He also provided clear instructions and a demo, and then allowed me to do the steps to make sure that I was confident to do it on my own. And that's from LaRonda.
Oh, thank
And
you so much.
then we have a question from Chanel. She says, she's asking, should I still put my child in the center of the car if the tether is behind a side seat?
Tell me the question again.
So she, so should she still put her child in the center of the car if the tether is behind a side seat? So I think she's talking about the upper latch.
Yeah,
on the
so
side.
yeah, the thing with the tether, and I hope as your kid is for, you know, we need more information. It's kind of like hard to give you like an answer just with the information that you provide. But if you're using the tether is just to prevent the rotation of the car seat. That means that your kid is forward facing, okay? I'm telling this because I saw a lot of families with the rear facing and the tether installed. That's not correct, that's dangerous, okay? Forward facing with the tether. So if you don't have a tether in the middle, I don't know what type of car, you know, you can come here and we have manuals that we can tell you, but if you have a tether in the middle, you don't have a tether in the middle, that means that probably you cannot install the car seat in the middle, okay, in the forward facing position. That's likely, but every car is different, okay? Maybe you have like an old model, I don't know. I'm talking about the new models in the last 15 years. If you have a model for the 90s, it's totally different, okay? So again, the best thing that you can do is come here, just make an appointment with us, and then we will look at and we will tell you definitely like, yeah, that's correct, that's not correct.
All right, the next question that we have for you, it says, car seats are very expensive. I'd like to know what is the safest car seat that I can buy?
They are expensive, that's right. But if you put the numbers about how expensive it is and how much you love your kid, it is not expensive for, okay. So, and the second thing is like here at the Welcome Baby, we are providing car seat for $15. So it's pretty cheap, okay? $15 is not money. So which one is the safest one? I will say anyone. All of them have the same safe or are the same safe protocols, okay? They are like, they have been all of them tested, and they all will keep your baby safe in case that you have an accident. The difference between a $100 car seat and a $600 car seat usually is how comfortable your kid is. It's like how comfortable, what is the expiration date, you know, 100 years, $100, it will be like 5 years. Car seats that are like $400, $600, they have like up to 20 years of expiration date. So, you know, that's this kind of things that you have in account. If you buy the cheapest one car seat in the market, you are buying a safe one. It wouldn't be as comfortable for your kid, that's right. You know, they have not, the padding is less thick, things like that, but it's the same safety for your kid. Look always that the car seats have the approval from the American Department of Safety, you know, that they're like legit, you know, that they are not like car seat that you buy. There are a lot of car seats that you buy on Amazon, eBay, all these places that they are not legit, and that's a problem, okay? They are really on top of that, the administration, so every time that they see a car seat that is not legit, they remove that. But from time to time, we have like, you know, a wave of car seat that people is like, oh, wow, I found a car seat that is $80 on Amazon and I bought, and it's like, yeah, but this is not the right one. The best thing that you can do is go to a store that you trust and buy a car seat over there. Okay. And I don't know if I answered all the question or it was like something. Okay.
And if I can add something, it's important to make sure, and it was Alfonso that showed me this, that whichever seat you're going to use correctly every time. And the difference in prices, there's no difference in safety from what Alfonso is saying, the $100 car seat and the $500 car seat in regards to safety. The only difference is how heavy it might be or how easy it is to put in. So the correct seat is going to be the correct seat that you can put in correctly every time, because Alfonso is not going to be there when you buy a new car and you decide to move that seat, or if you're going to go visit somebody and you move that seat. So whichever seat you can put in correctly every single time. And I got that. from Alfonso.
Yeah. And the last thing is like, you need to buy the car seat that is appropriate for your kid. Okay, it's not the more expensive, it's not the cheaper one. Some families is like, yeah, I'm buying the more expensive car for my kid. And it's like, yeah, but it's not, your kid is waiting out of the limits of that car seat. So it's kind of like you are wasting your money. So yeah.
So if those of you that have asked questions thus far, we're trying to make sure, because remember, if you ask a question, you get entered in the raffle. Could put in the chat, or if you'd like to call Welcome Baby and give us your emails directly, either one of them, so that way we can enter you into the raffle. Miss Krista said she needs your email addresses, please. And
And
I
if you
don't,
decide to call Welcome Baby, remember the number is 919-560-7150.
and the last question is, Alfonso, do car seats have a expiration date? You mentioned an expiration date?
Yeah, I mentioned that. So yeah, all the car seats have an expiration date because the fabric and the harness, the plastic, with the time they deteriorate. So you need to replace that from time to time. Usually it's 5 to 6 years old of expiration. And I saw a question also in the chat that said tether. It's in Spanish. ¿Qué palabra es de? What does it mean? Tether is like in the top of the car seat of the forward facing. I'm going to say that in Spanish. I'm going to try that. El tether es una cosa que va en la parte alta de la silla, que significa que cuando la silla va mirando para adelante, se engancha en la parte de atrás para que la silla no rote en caso de que tengas un accidente. I just explain in Spanish what is the tether.
So we have 3 questions. So the first one is from Yesenia. She wants to know what happens if you've hit that expiration date.
So what happened is like, you don't know if the car seat is going to break in case that you have an accident. Okay. So it's depending also in the use that you had the car seat. I will say like if the car seat expired, because it's like a yogurt. Okay. What happened to a yogurt that expired yesterday? Would you die if you eat today? Probably not. Would you die if you eat in 1 week from now? Probably not. Would you die if you eat in 1 year from now? I'm pretty sure. So that's the same. Okay. So the car seat, if the car seat is expired and has been in your, in your house, or has been in the garage for 5 years and expired last year, probably it's going to be okay. If the car seat is expired that you use since the day one, and you have in the car, and your car has been in the sun all the summer and all the winter in the cold, I wouldn't use that car seat one day after they expire.
Because remember, material disintegrate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's plastic, and they can have any issue that you cannot see. The problem is like the plastic inside, you cannot see that it's broken, and you can only check, or you will only know that it's broken the day that you have an accident.
So Miss LaRonda would like to know, should you remove the extra harnesses if they aren't in use?
I didn't get what is this question. What is the?
So she wants to know if there's apparently extra harnesses. Maybe they are using the seatbelt now instead of the harness, like maybe the child outgrew the forward-facing harness. And she wants to know if you should remove those extra harnesses out of the seat.
So it's kind of like I don't get the question, but I'm going to try to understand that what she's trying to ask is like, she has like a forward facing that at some point it become a booster. And if that's a situation that it was like harnessing the baby, and then the car seat is now using with the seatbelt, yeah, in that situation, you need to remove all the harnessing, okay, everything, so the baby can use the seatbelt, but they don't have anything in the back.
All right. Another attendee would like to know, what do you do if your child looks too big for a rear-facing car seat?
If the child is too big for a rear-facing, so
what do you do if your child looks too big for a rear-facing car seat?
what does it mean too big? How old is the kid? If you are putting a 10 years old rear-facing, yeah, definitely it's too big. But if it's a 1 year old that is too big, probably it's too big for the car seat that you have now. But in that situation, if he or she is less than 2 years old, the problem is not the kid, the problem is the car seat. You need to buy a car seat that your kid can fit in the rear facing position. So if you have a 2 years old or 1 year and a half that is more than 30 pounds, then you need to buy a convertible that holds a baby rear facing up to 40 pounds. Okay, so that's the thing. And I was going to say a different thing about how big, but yeah, I think that's all.
So another
Oh, yeah, no,
attendee-
let me just,
Okay.
it's because one of the things that usually happen is like families, when you have like an infant at 8 months old, that's the most common families are coming here is like, yeah, my own 8 months is in the infant car seat and the legs are out of the car seat. So the baby's too big for the car seat. And that is not actually correct. The thing that you need to look in the infant car seat is where the head is. Okay, the head needs to be always 1 inch below the top of the car seat. Okay, the legs are going to be out of the car seat, you know, when the baby is 5 months old. That's fine. You need to take the head. Okay, if the head is 1 inch below the top of the car seat, it will be fine. Okay, but at any of this time, you can come here to the Welcome Baby, and the car seat that we are providing is a convertible. They can hold babies up to 40 pounds rear facing, and you will be happy with that.
So Aura would like to know, is it true that after an accident, you have to replace the seat?
Yeah, that is correct. And that's a good question. Every time that you have an accident, depending on the accident, but if the airbag is deployed, you have to, you know, it's a bigger reparation, you need to get rid of that car seat. And that's a problem because, well, that's a problem. Now the police, if they come to the accident, they are taking the car seat, so you don't have the point to dispose that car seat. But some families, they are like, oh, wow, the car seat is new. They told me that I need to, you know, throw this away. They keep this in the market. They're like selling on Facebook, on the flea market, and things like that. So that is related to when you're buying a car seat, be sure that is one, new, or if it's a used car seat, be sure that you know what is the past, that it's not expired, that it doesn't have any recall, and has not been in an accident. If you don't know any of these, you know, you have unknown any of these 3 questions, don't buy that car seat. Okay. And also always recommend the families who have been involved in an accident to file a claim with the insurance company to pay for the new car seat. Okay. You cannot use that car seat anymore, but the insurance company should pay you for a new car seat.
So you just answered a question that was in our Q&A. Do all car insurance companies cover the cost of a seat? Anayeli would like to know, she says, my kid is 7, but she weighs 67 pounds. Can she use a no back car seat or not yet?
So depending on how tall it is and how your seatbelt in your car is, okay? A 7-year-old, 67 pound, I guess that is pretty big kid. And it will be, you know, probably with a booster without the back, it will be fine, probably. But it's like you put in the booster, you put the seatbelt, and if the seatbelt is here, it will be fine. If the seatbelt is not here and it's here in the neck, then it's better the back. Or there's like a little piece, I don't have any here, in the back legs boosters that you can attach to the seatbelt, so they decrease the height of the seatbelt and adjust to the shoulder of the kid. The same as always. Happy to, if you want to come here, that's a 5 minutes question that Carmen, Cindy, or myself can answer you.
So somebody else has a question. I have a question. Is it okay to accept used car seats from a friend or family member?
Yeah, it's the same as before. It's like if you know the past of the car seat that has not been involved in an accident, car seat is not expired, and if they don't have any recall or you check for the recalls, I don't know if later we can put the information about. It's online. You can type recall and car seat, and they have a page that you made the model of your car seat, and they tell you like, hey, this car seat have been recalled or hasn't been. If you know, no accident, no expired, no recall, that's fine.
And one more, they're on fire, Alfonso. At what age or height or weight do you stop using a car seat or booster seat?
So I told that, I think that I told that at the beginning, there's no age for that. There's no toll. There's no like a number, magic number that say like, yeah, just stop. It's when the seatbelt is fitting in the shoulder, that's the time that they can stop using any type of car seat. Not before that age, So kids under 8, they need to use something. Doesn't matter that they fit. But if the kid is older than that, if the seatbelt is in the shoulder, it's fine. Okay.
Ooh, that was a lot of questions.
And all good ones.
And all
Yeah.
good. Yeah. So I'm just going to do a brief reminder for those of you that ask a question. If you could please make sure in the chat, we either have your, it looks like Krista would like either your cell phone number or your email address so we can enter you in the raffle. And we also have the report to the community at Briggs Garden tomorrow. And there's still some spots open, and it's from 10 to 12, and it's a tour, and you get fresh vegetables for free. Does anybody else have any questions? You all had some really good questions.
These were really wonderful questions.
Kept me on my
And
toes.
thank you, Alfonso, for all that information. You know,
Thank you.
yeah, I mean, I don't have kids. My kids are grown, but I was like, oh, wow, especially when I watched the video, you know, and just looking at how the spine, you know, bends all the way and the injury that can cause. That's very eye-opening. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's sad, you know, because that thing happened, and the problem is like accidents, that doesn't happen twice. You know, if you have
Yeah.
an accident and your kid has not been properly restrained, you don't have a second chance. So we want to be proactive with this.
Our director said, great job, car seat guru.
Oh, please.
So it's an excellent job.
So Carmen,
right.
if there are no more questions, I will
Yeah.
go ahead and do the results of the quiz and announce
Yeah.
our winner.
Yes.
Hey,
Yay! So we
Yay.
had,
we have one more
Oh,
more
looks like we
question.
have
That is
a-
oh,
when,
sorry,
when-
go ahead.
no, it's when are the classes, because we have been talking about the classes.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
like
good.
when and how. So you can call the Welcome Baby to sign up for a class, and I will call you back. Right now, during the pandemic, we are doing one-on-one. I don't know when we are going to go back to the classes and have like a group class, but right now we are doing one-on-one. I'm doing one-on-one on Tuesday and Fridays. So, you know, it's like making an appointment with me and with Carmen and Cindy, because, you know, we three, we will work out this thing, and we'll make appointments with you, and you can come and take the class or have the car seat. So, yeah.
Excellent. So we had 29 responses to the quiz. And so I'm just going to go over it really quick. At what age is recommended to change your car seat from infant rear facing position to forward facing? Overwhelmingly, people got this question correct. So keep children rear facing as long as possible, but up until at least the age of 2. If you're receiving a used car seat, we covered this. So all of the above you need to know. Overwhelmingly, people got that answer correct. Most car seats can be installed in 2 different ways, using seatbelt or using the lower anchorage system called latch. Which one is safer? And we had 29 responses. We had 17 participants with 100%. Everybody that did not get 100% missed this question.
Mhm. It is tricky. I guess that they say.
And they all erred on the side of caution. So
They
they
say that
either
you might install-
selected latch or they selected both.
Okay.
So the answer is both have the same degree of safety if installed properly. And people ask us that question a lot. And the answer is whatever you are going to install correctly every single time is the one to use.
Mhm.
And then if your child has a shoulder belt under the arm or behind the back, so that means that your child is still in need of a booster seat, as Alfonso said. And everyone got that question right. And when do children need to be properly restrained in a car? Everyone got this one right. When they are in the car before starting the engine. All right. And our winner is ding, 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 Ta-ta.
Oh,
Congratulations.
congratulations.
I tell you, she is one of our most responsive Facebook
Yes.
participants. She always has a big smile for us on Fridays when she comes. And so just to let you all know, we put all of the names in a randomizer and the randomizer picked.
Yay.
Oh, yes.
So Tata, we will be in touch with you. We'll put you in touch with Alfonso, and you guys can decide what seat serves you best. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Like Welcome Baby's biggest fan.
It's true.
Yes. Well, you know what? Thank you guys so much. I mean, this was wonderful. I was glued to the screen, Alfonso, and I was like, man, I wish I knew all this before my kids were grown, and they just survived on a wing and a prayer. So thank you so much for that information. And like Alfonso said, if you need more information about this, you call us 919-560-7150. And I just want to thank everybody for coming and for joining us and for continuing to support Welcome Baby and being part of Welcome Baby, because we wouldn't be able to do this without the families, without the support of the community, and all your donations, all your support, coming to the programs, and following us on Facebook and liking the post and making sure that everybody knows about the services that we do offer. I just want to thank you so much. And I'll say, everybody stay safe. And for those who are coming Friday, we'll see you Friday during the Giving Closet drive-through and diaper distribution.
Bye, all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Gracias.